Welcome. In this class, we will talk about women and the related occupational health disorders. So, the very first thing is understanding the concept of occupational health. So, the basic idea when we talk about occupational health is when a female or a woman is employed into certain profession. So, let's say BD making or BD rolling is one such profession which is highly hazardous to women and which is considered as less paid work with a lot of manual dexterity that is required, which brings in constant pain in the muscle and the body and creates definite spinal problems, right? So that is one such example. Now this occupational disorders, when they are talked about, we need to understand that there is what is called as the occupational health and safety, which is one of the very important gendered construct. And any kind of gender biasness, if it relates to ergonomics or if it relates to the anthropometric designs. So for example, factory floor is designed usually for male workers with the weights and the loads being arranged in such a fashion which is apt for a male worker. However, with the same load capacity, if a female worker works for it with the same spacing, with the same distancing that they have to stand, then it creates definite muscle problem, back problem, and occupational disorders. So we'll talk about these occupational disorders one by one as we proceed. But yes, bringing an alternative to the paternalistic outlook and the progressive empowerment, there needs to be occupational reframework under which women employees could get the best match at the industrial workplace, and also to reduce any kind of psychological burden that is being created. Now, when we talk about feminism, there has been feminist views for labor and health under different perspectives. So starting with the liberal feminism, it talks about, or it has the ideas rooted into equal opportunity, freedom and rationality. So it talks about institutional frameworks or barriers which prevent women from entering into the paid employment system. It talks about equal remuneration, kind of equitable conditions, non-discriminatory work environment, but it does not take into account the kind of extreme form of double labor that a women employee would actually face, which is holding the responsibility of household along with the workplace, right? The next important change was from liberal feminism to Marxist feminism. Now Marxist feminism brought this double sword together, so that double burden was well addressed. So the production capacity along with the family responsibilities and the alienation was well taken into account. However, at this point of time when Marxist feminism was prevalent, women were hyper exploited, and that was because women were considered as basically a cheap labor as compared to male. So any kind of labor which required a lot of manual dexterity, women were considered as a better replacement, and especially for hazardous works which could be completed at home in a monotonous environment, this was the reason that female was a priority choice. Ultimately, this led to a lot of occupational psychological disorders. Clear? The next one that we would focus on is radical feminism. Now, radical feminism talks about over-structuring the role of patriarchy, and it says that how a male dominance in the society actually controls not just the female work but also the female sexuality, reproductive capacity and the body autonomy. And as a result, it talks about a workplace environment which should be free of harassment. So sexual harassment at workplace was one of the ideas to be discussed under the radical feminism, right? And it also focuses on the reproductive capacity and the motherhood, analyzing with the fact of commercialization of human body or the female body, where commercial surrogate activities were commonly witnessed. So women were used for as a surrogate mother, and that was again one of the big challenges that was addressed by the radical feminist. The next in line of development was the social feminism. Now, this social feminism focuses on the dual system theory that explains two things. First is how capitalism, and the second is how patriarchy have continuously oppressed the women of the society. So it raises its voice against both the system, against the capitalist system as well as against the patriarchy, and it says that if there is a devaluation of women, that is because of the mirroring of the domestic violence which is seen, and mirroring of them specifically in the domestic course. For example, the activities like nursing, teaching, domestic service, garment manufacturing are some of the activities where the number of women are usually high and they are less paid. They have severe occupational health hazards that they have to witness, and this was again addressed. So be it any of the feminist approach, liberal, Marxist, radical, or socialist, all of them have brought one thing in common, that is to address the firstly the women issues, the secondly the occupational issues related to it, health issues, the safety and the concern. So as the development strengthened, there was more female dominated care oriented society that came into existence, that was constantly questioning the underinvestments, the low wages that a female get, and the unrecognized health hazards that they have to face, right? Now coming on to some of the important concepts that are related to it before we come on to actually the occupational health and the issues related to it. The one important theory that we would like to highlight here is the social reproduction theory. Now this theory shifts the attention from the paid production work or the economic work to the unpaid reproductive labor and the domestic work that a female does. Now, Lise Vosgrel was one who argued that capitalism actually depends on this unpaid daily labor that a female is putting in, and because of that unpaid daily labor that a female puts in,